was on the last day of May. We flew from Wright Pat to Bearfield, and the next morning we took off from Bearfield. We're supposed to fly all the way to McClellan Field non-stop with what we had. We only got as far as Salt Lake, and then the next day we got to McClellan, and they decided we didn't have enough fuel, so they put another gas tank in the airplane, and we then went to Hamilton Field for our final takeoff place. We left Hamilton on the 2nd of June with a 4,000-pound overload of gasoline, and some of us were able to fly over the Golden Gate Bridge. Some of us had to fly under it because we couldn't gain enough altitude. We were to cruise to Hickam Field at 170 knots all the way, and we were supposed to make it with 100 gallons of gas to spare. Some were a little less than that, but most of us had roughly about 30 minutes of flying time left. All 13 ships made it, and the next day they took all the stuff out of the aircraft, all the tanks, put the armor plate back, put the guns back in the aircraft, loaded us up with two 1,000-pound bombs, and we were sent to the Kapapa Gulch, which was an airstrip they had just built, and waited for the results of the Battle of Midway, in which we were told that if the Japanese broke through at Midway, we would have to wind up going out 600 miles and bomb the Jap fleet if it had come through. Thankfully, we didn't have to go out, and the next few days they got things settled, and they decided we were going to carry torpedoes, so they sent us through the Navy torpedo school for 2 weeks. In the meantime, we did some high-altitude bombing practice with practice bombs, and then we also did some torpedo runs with the Navy torpedo sight they installed in the cockpit. On the 3rd of July, roughly, thereabout, we took off from Hickam and flew in non-stop to first to Christmas Island, then to Canton Island, and then into Fiji was where we were to be based. Our ground troops had already been reshipped from Australia back up to Fiji for the 70th.